I'm Travis Payne.
And I'm Stacy Walker.
Welcome to Full Out with the real Travis and Stacy on YouTube, where we celebrate all things dance, music, arts, and entertainment.
And a few secrets of our own. We think you're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, today we have an incredible actor who made his film breakthrough when he was cast as Compton rapper Eazy-E in the Gary Gray directed biopic Straight Outta Compton.
What?
With his performance being met with significant praise by critics, he received multiple award nominations, including the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture.
Yeah.
You've also seen him in Kong, Skull Island, The Disaster Artist, Detroit, and Mudbound. Welcome, Jason Mitchell.
Hey, the Jason.
Hello. Thank you for having me. How are you guys?
Welcome.
Oh my God, Jason, this is so cool because I watched Straight Outta Compton. I did. I watched it last week and I was so blown away. Like, you're so good. I just want to grab you and kiss you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was
The gift that keeps on giving, I would say, right?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
It's the gift that keeps on giving. When you do a good role and it just sort of like it travels.
It lives on
people get
and on.
Yeah, it's so crazy. You know, and that was one of those things where, like, you know, if you mess it up, you just like should never visit California ever in your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you get it right, then it's something that just transcends, you know? And I felt like it was such big shoes to fill, but it was so exciting. It was one of those things where I was literally working with my favorite director of all time. You know, I grew up on his movies, Friday, Set It Off, The Italian Job. He's just somebody that doesn't miss, you know? So to be able to work with him and to be able to be vulnerable with him was like an incredible space to be in, you know? So I really got to give all the credit to F. Gary Gray.
We worked with F. Gary Gray.
F. Gary on Man Apart film that had Vin Diesel.
He was really good.
He was good. And I remember too, Jason, also being on set at one of the locations for the casting. I think one of the final castings in downtown LA. A friend of ours had this really great location down there, and we did a few things there. That one woman, we did something else. We shot the apparel stuff there.
Oh yeah, okay.
I remember on the rooftop, and I remember being there, and there was a casting. That was the first time I'd seen F. Gary Gray since we did A Man Apart, and there was a casting going on for Straight Outta Compton.
And you were probably there. Yeah,
you know what's so crazy, right? Is that first of all, I was number 7,001, right?
Really?
Wow.
But I'm sitting in this building that you guys are talking about with a guy named Aaron Spicer, who's like, he's like an acting coach guru. You know, he's like another Susan Batson, right? But he's sitting there and he's like, yeah, man, you know, when you're doing these scenes, just throw some different stuff at them, man. Just knock them off. Hit them with some shit, right? And I'm like, okay, you know. So we're doing these chemistry reads, and I'm looking around the room to see like if there's any other Eazy-E's, right? Because in my mind, I'm like completely oblivious to me getting the role. I'm just thinking like maybe I'm going against somebody who is like way too famous to be in this building. You know what I mean? Like Eazy-E has a bunch of kids. At one point, I know his daughter wanted to play the role. Like it was crazy. So I was like super nervous because I was never actually told those words, you booked it, right? So I'm doing all of these chemistry reads for like weeks just with different people. And I'm waiting to see another Eazy-E come through the door. So I asked one of the producers, I'm like, I mean, do you think I got it? And they were like, do you see any other Eazy-E's? And I'm like, oh.
Right.
No, but I mean, you know, you just pictured the moment to be different, right?
You know, in this business, until the check clears, you don't have the job, right?
Exactly. So they flew me home, and they literally didn't call me for like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then one day they just sent me some travel information, like, yeah, we need you out here in LA. It's like, what? And then I got there, and then I saw the rest of the cast, and I was like, well, I guess this is happening. It was like the most incredible moment that never happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You never got that big celebration moment because you didn't know until you got there.
You think that was on purpose? You think it was by design some kind of way?
Absolutely. Because F. Gary Gray, man, he's really, truly a genius, right? Like, I remember going through these rehearsals and all of this stuff. Like, I had to gain a bunch of weight. I had to eat like 4,000 calories a day. I had
Wow.
to do boxing 4 times a week. We had to rehearse every day. We had to, because what he wanted us to do was to be able to convince NWA that we were NWA without the costumes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we had to
Okay.
re-record the album and all of this stuff. So we're doing like this performance training. But he would make us do these really odd exercises at first. Like everybody had to close their eyes and he would take a bill out of his wallet and drop it on the floor and we had to know what bill it was. And like we all thought that was completely ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, how are we just gonna guess? And he was like, nah, like if you really pay attention, you'll know the difference between a $10 bill and a $100 bill, between a 5 and a 20. And then we just all thought it was completely ridiculous, right? By the end of week 4, like, I mean, do you remember Three Ninjas? Like at the end of that movie when they were like all super locked in? That's how it was with us. I remember the moment when all of our eyes were closed and the $100 bill hits the floor and we're all like, yeah, that's 100. And we opened our eyes. We were all like completely blown away. Like, what is happening? But yeah, like Gary had us so locked in and it was like he's one of those people that if you trust him, he'll put you on top of the world. You know, and that's definitely what he did for me. I still don't know how to look at him. You know what I mean? Like a brother, a father, a savior. I don't know, but he's like a little bit of all that wrapped all into one.
Right.
Like,
all the above. I mean, how did he, so I'm just really curious because after just watching movie and, you know, your scene was really difficult. I mean, that's a really heavy scene in the hospital. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
You know, it's crazy because when I did the audition, that was one of the scenes that I had to do. It was one of the 5 scenes. So I go there, and first of all, fully dressed as Eazy-E, sunglasses, wig, everything. And the lady that I read with, her name is Megan Lewis, and she's like really super serious and like really Boston. Like I don't know if you guys know Boston people, but she's
Boston.
They're wicked,
right? So she's like, yeah, that's cute, but you know, you got to take all that stuff off. So I'm like, okay. So I'm there doing my scenes, and we get to this crying scene, and as the tears are flowing down my face, you know, because I did it over Skype, right? So the tears are flowing down my face, and Gary's saying, just breathe. Just breathe. But at this point, like butterflies are leaving my stomach, right? This is the biggest moment of my life. So I just bust out laughing. And all of these other voices bust out laughing, and all I can see is his head on Skype, like turning left to right, like, he's good, right? He's good, right? And I'm like, wow, this is crazy, because I still, to this day, don't even know who was in that room, but I had no idea it was so many people. So I'm thinking I did, like, the best job, the thing to impress him, right? So we're shooting the Detroit scenes where we're, like, on stage, and, you know, stuff's going crazy. We got to run off stage. So during my lunch break, I normally like to take my little zen time, go in my trailer and just kind of relax, maybe catch me a little nap, you know, just do whatever.
Yeah.
So he comes to my trailer and he's like, yeah, you know, the easy week is coming up. Because they thought it was funny to call it the easy week because it was the hardest scenes. And it was like all the hospital stuff where everybody was going to be crying, right? So it was like this play on words. And he was like, yeah, the easy week is coming up. And I just want to know what you're going to do. And I was like, I mean, I guess I'm going to die of AIDS. You know, I don't really know how to describe this moment. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you mean what I'm going to do? And he's like, yeah, you know, I want you to show me. And I was like, now? He's like, yes. And I was like, Gary, believe me, like, I can't do this right now. You know what I mean? Because it won't be hard to turn it on. The hard part is going to be turning it off, you know? I got pain inside of me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's like arguing, like we really almost like really got into this heated argument because he really wanted to know. Because at the time, I had no idea how much the movie counted on that moment. You know, I had no idea how heavy that was. And for him, you know, he takes this stuff super serious. So I guess it was just on his mind that day. But I'm like, I'm literally having one of the best days of my life. You know what I mean? We got like 7,500 extras. It's something crazy, you know, and we're performing on stage. I just watched Ice Cube perform and Dub C, and I'm on stage with him. And now you want me to just cry? I'm like, no, this is crazy. So the day comes, the easy week comes, and literally take one. I brought the rain. It's crazy. So Cube's wife, Miss Kim, bless her soul, she got up and just left. She was like, I can't even take this. Like, this is too much for me. And Gary comes in there and he's just holding me, and I'm just letting the tears out. And I was like, I told you. You know, it's making me emotional right now just thinking about it, because
Yes.
I knew, like, if I got that chance, that I was gonna rock it. I knew it. You know, I always knew I had something inside of me that I wanted to show the world. I didn't know how to go about doing that or any of that, you know. So I'm so thankful for you know, being able to be put in that position. Like, it's really God's work, you know. But F. Gary Gray was definitely the mastermind.
Yes, I was going to say you were born for the role. So you stepped into your moment, your truth. You believed in yourself. You persevered. That was a true full out moment. That really was.
For sure.
You were full out. You left it all there. You knew it was a career defining moment. You know, a lot of times as younger people, we are fearless, right? It is only as we get older and have more experiences do we get nervous, do we second guess ourselves. But I'm so grateful in those moments leading up to that, you were able to abandon all that and put on your blinders and just focus on what was in front of you. And I think that's what F. Gary Gray was connecting with. And he wanted to make sure that that was real, because so much was riding on that moment. And you brought it.
You brought it.
That's good.
Thank you.
It's an incredible experience and performance that, you know, you obviously were rewarded for.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, you know, once that experience was over with, was it hard for you to be looked at for other roles?
Right.
Or did people see you as Easy E?
yeah.
You know, like, because sometimes that's really difficult for some actors.
Typecasting.
You know what's so crazy? After the makeup, the Jerry curl, the tattoo covers, everything, people still watch me in other movies and be like, yo, look at Easy E in this movie, right? It's crazy. Like, it took me so long to become Jason Mitchell. I remember, like, going to see Kong, Skull Island.
Yes.
Because I always, like, creep into my movies, right? Like, with a hoodie and some sunglasses and, like, watch people watch the movie, because I'm personally... Like, I'm always under the impression that people are going to lie to me about my performance. Like, oh, yeah, you did great. Or the movie was great, even if it was bad, right? So I always want to, like, watch people watch it. So I'm sitting in there watching everybody. And, you know, we got, like, a standing ovation. Everybody was, like, really hype about this movie. And I stand up and I'm like, yo, I just want to say thank you, everybody. Like, it really seems like you guys love the movie. I appreciate this so much. And in the middle of my speech, somebody's like, yo, that's Easy E. I was like, what? I was just in this movie for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I didn't even die. Like, what? It was like, oh, that was you.
That's awesome.
I looked exactly like this in Kong. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, awesome. You know, you gotta love it, man. I remember shooting The Shy and like, you know, you're trying to get people to, like, be quiet on the block while you're, like, outside shooting, and people, like, are out of their windows, like, yo, Easy E.
Right.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Right.
Right. You know, so I'm just happy that like, it resonated so well, and it's also like kind of cool to be somebody that was cool. You know what I mean, and not be remembered as like some weird person. You know,
it's a moment. It's a moment that continues to mean so much for culture. You know, so much from music culture, so much for American culture, you know, so much for Black culture. So it's I think a distinct honor. You know, we understand what that means, you know, being associated with a great opportunity or a great artist or a great person. And, you know, you sort of wear that badge with honor.
It feels good to be recognized.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, we got ahead of ourselves. I'm so excited about, you know, Straight Outta Compton. But where did all this begin for you? Like, Jason, so why did you even start acting? Is acting where you started in this business?
Well, I actually started acting because I needed to make new friends, right? Like, I was 23, living in New Orleans, you know, was fresh out of Hurricane Katrina. Yeah. And my best friend gets killed. You know, he got shot 17 times. And it's never like it is on TV. You know what I mean? It's like the detectives came straight to my house. They knew the whole story. His girlfriend had, like, told him everything. And it just, like, felt like my world was just closing in on me, right? And I was just, like, my sister was an accountant, right? And we lived in the same house at one point in time. And she, you know, was hanging out with people who would wear slacks on a day-to-day basis. And I'm like, where are you finding these friends? You know what I mean? I need to do activities in my life to, like, find new people to hang out with. So I hear this ad on the radio about an acting class with a lady named Jacqueline Fleming, right? Shout out to her. She's super, super dope. So I went there with no intentions to like become an actor, right? Like I'd never seen anybody do anything like that. You know, shout out to Wendell Pierce and Anthony Mackie, but they both had to leave the city in order to be, you know, successful with that. You know, so I had never seen nothing like that close up. All we know is rap in the hood, right? So I get to this acting class and I fall in love with it. I really do. Like for 3 hours out of my day, I could be like somebody else, you know? But after a few weeks, I started to just get distracted, like with my life and, you know, things that I felt like were real to me, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So I really have to give credit to the man behind the camera on you guys' side, right?
Yes.
Shout out to my man, Jamil Jones. Like, I love that guy so much, you know, because you know how it is. Like, when you don't have any money and you don't know what you're going to do next, you're, like, kind of scrambling, right? Mm-hmm. I never, ever looked at myself in the mirror and was like, yo, you're a star, you know? So he was, like, the first person to ever tell me that. And I was like, okay, you know, you try to absorb that at first, but then it's hard for you to kind of conceptualize what other people are seeing. Mm-hmm. So one day I decided not to go to class, and literally him and Jack come to my neighborhood and they're like, bro, what are you doing? You're going to ruin your life trying to be outside. Like, what are you doing? You need to come to the class. Like, we gonna get this together for you. We gonna figure out something. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I go back to the class. And we're doing our scene work. They had a few groups go before mine. And then me and my scene partner went. And then they had a group after us, right? And the guys who were going after us were really bad. So the lady who came to the class just stops the whole thing and was like, look, I need y'all to take this shit serious, okay? Because this could change y'all life. Like, this young man's life is about to change. And I'm like, what? Me? You know, and she's like, yes, we're going to figure something out for you. I got an audition for you this week. You just need some headshots and, you know, a resume. You know, I was like, well, you know, at the time, Jamil was maybe a little bit cheaper to work with, but his headshots were still like $800. And I didn't have it. You know what I mean? I just didn't have it. And he was like, bro, don't worry about it. Come to my studio tomorrow and we'll figure it out. Right? So here I am, like, driving to his studio. It's like an hour away from where I live. And I'm like super nervous. And when I got there, it was like such an experience. I mean, we were in this photo shoot probably 13, 14 hours.
Wow.
And when he showed me the pictures of myself, that was the first time I think I ever really felt special.
Wow.
You know?
Jamil, can you hear that?
Yeah, we spent so long on a photo shoot because I was really trying to coach him and get the perfect shot. Right. And we spent a lot of time talking and just, you know, having life stories and just really catching up. And I was like, man, you're onto something, brother. You know, this will change your life. You know, this is I've never seen, you know, someone as talented as you. And it was just, you know, just a brother experience, you know, just really catching up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So special.
Yeah, you need people.
You guys are just trying to make me cry right now.
No. Here's the thing. I told you, we celebrate art and the artists that create it. So everybody who's part of your tribe matters. You know, they contribute to your journey and you to theirs. Right. So we love to give people their flowers while they can still appreciate them. Like all of these things. So, yeah, you should get emotional. You've come a long way. You've put in a lot of hard work.
And how great. I just want to say, too, you know, like these stories are important. Jamil, who, if you don't know, is our producer here, you know, he changed your life because he took some time out. He took some time out of his day to make you feel special and to help you along the way. And we all need help and we all need people to help us realize our potential.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we can't see it. And that's what he did for you. And that's what we all need to be doing for each other.
Yes. And the next generation, because then it'll be their turn and then it'll be their turn. So that's what, you know, that's how we can pay it forward, really.
Exactly. And that's why I started this Dream Seeker situation.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
With Dream Seeker, you know, it's a workforce program that's teaching everybody everything from producer all the way down to PA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as young people, especially young Black people, a lot of times we're so focused on looking at the face of the watch that we forget that the gears make it special. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nobody teaches you how to own the football team or the basketball team.
Yeah.
Or to own the record label instead of just being a rapper, you know, or to just be more than an actor. So, you know, every time I would go to New Orleans to shoot a movie, like they got people peeking over the fence, like Mr. Feeney, like, yo, how I get involved? How I get involved?
Right.
You know, so I started this program to do just that, you know, highlight these young people. I mean, I might spark the brain of the next F. Gary Gray, the next Quentin Tarantino, who knows?
That's
you
right.
know? Or even more so, the next Jerry Bruckheimer, Dick Wolf. Like, what are we? You know, you got to give people opportunities.
Absolutely.
So that's what my life's work is about right now. You know, and Jamil is still helping me with that. You know what I mean? He's actually in it with me, and because we're doing everything from film to gaming and coding. So it's going to be really cool. But he's just been a real inspiration in my life, you know, and he knows my family, knows my kids, his family is my family. So
when you say New Orleans, that's like home folk, because my mom's whole side is there from New Orleans, you know, and we got this place during Hurricane Katrina too. So shout out to all of them. But, you know, how do you find your dream seekers? How would someone who's interested, you know, connect with you and get involved?
Yeah, if you would like to apply, you can just apply at idreamseek.org. It's really simple. You just put your information in. You know, you have a personality test to take because a lot of times people don't know where to put their energy in film. So not only we train you in every department, but if you're lost and don't know exactly which way to go, we can help you do that too. We offer scholarships to locals, to students, to military veterans. You know, we try to make their experience as free as possible.
That's awesome.
So yeah, man, we're doing great over here. You know?
It sounds like you're doing great. And we know you're busy shooting a commercial for Dream Seekers today. So that's super cool.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
It's so dope. And you know, the people who are involved, you know, my Dream Seeker students, you know, they range from the ages 17 to like 49.
Wow.
Crazy. You know, you got people who are pivoting from things that they've been doing their whole life, people who aren't sure what they want to do yet. And they're like, all right, I guess I'll try film, you know? So it's just this really ragtag group of people who are coming together to make magic. And like, on the inside, that's what film is, you know? And I love film from the inside out. So anybody who wants to be involved, I would encourage you to take that step. You know, we'll help you figure it out. You know,
I love that.
One time, but Jamil did it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. And I think too, to your point earlier, Jason, like there is that show business. A lot of people can connect with the show part of it, but a lot of people don't know how to get involved with the business or have great business minded, you know, approach to their art. You know, that I think if we can get more artists to, you know, be more aware of more facets of the business,
definitely,
then they'll be able to monetize and really be able to, you know, live up to their actual to see their value come their way.
Absolutely.
You know, so,
and it's no shade or pressure on any other celebrity out there, but I do feel like it's our job to find a way to lead people. You know, you can't just be a beacon of light leading people to an empty parking lot. That makes no sense. Like if you got the sauce and you got the formula, it's important for you to fine tune that and then pass it on because we can't die with any of this. But the truth is, you know, these pixels are going to last like how long? 3,000 years or something like that. Like a lot of us have already made our staple on, you know, the film business and what it's going to be. So it's very important for us to give people these opportunities, you know, because if we had to live through all this pain and suffering and all of this, and we still got to this level, imagine what it'll be like if
we actually get tapped in.
Exactly. We actually are quote unquote grandfathered into this, you know, by default. Like, what does that even look like? It's crazy. Hopefully I live to see the beauty of it. If not,
I was just about to say that in our lifetimes we will see it if we keep, you know, focused like we are,
giving back.
And we create opportunities. So, you know, I'd love to even continue the discussion offline so we can figure out some real business because, you know, I think it's possible.
Absolutely. I'm
Dream
100%
seekers.
down with
That's
that.
amazing.
Yes, but if there's anything else you wanted to say in parting, we'll let you do that. But I think this is great, and we'll let you get back to your filming because I know everybody's on the clock.
Yes.
Right. Definitely got to pay these people. But I just want to say, you know, to everybody, don't let circumstances fool you into thinking you're not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I would have listened to my circumstances, I'd be dead or in jail or definitely not here on this wonderful podcast, you know? So if you're trying to get into film, idreamseek.org. You can follow me at Jason Mitchell Actor. It's mostly Instagram, okay, because I'm not a big social media person. But it is me running my Instagram. So follow me at Jason Mitchell Actor and keep tuning in. We're doing great stuff on this side. I love you.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Jason. That's great advice.
Yes, sir. You guys,
I'm inspired.
I am too. You know, keep dreaming, keep seeking. You guys, follow, check out, celebrate the great Jason Mitchell.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Take care, brother. Thank you.
You're a special person.
See you soon.
So glad to know you.
Oh, yes.